Hey everyone, welcome back to another battle report as game 4 of our ongoing Conflict 47 campaign, the Battle for Solivgrad. We're playing again a modified Fortress Budapest mission, 1K of Germans versus my Soviets. Some of the others here. It is the campaign game, so we added some of the assets, in this case the Big Push, which gives them an extra unit, and prisoner interrogations. A number of my units don't start hidden. In this mission, my assets are set, and as I mentioned, it's a campaign game, so we get some extra units and other deployment options and things. So my platoon, yeah, I just ran a bunch of guys. It's a little everything. In this mission, it did come with a free team or artillery piece, 75 points or less, and a three-man observer, or artillery observer team, and then my opponent. So yeah, the attackers in this one get a little bit more free stuff, as in the case of 2 units, a tank or a walker, and then a regular infantry squad, and then the Big Push gave him a free heavy infantry squad. This, given his this kind of his final assault, so he added a big difference here. You know, the two spin flamethrower mix, but everything else is generally what he's been taking. So the layout. So this is my deployment area. So this is the asset here, the 45 building. You see the street barricades, and then there's the mission here is there's a total of 5 assets. You can see 1, 2, 3, one down here on the left, then one over here. Each of these, are the ones behind the barricades, are worth 1 point each, and then these are worth, I believe, 2 points each off the top of my head. Again, the view from his point of his table edge, and then my forces that start up. So yeah, the got the double LMG team here, anti-tank rifle team, medium machine gun, observer, heavy infantry, the terrors, the inexperienced squad, regular squad, tank hunter team, daughters of the motherland. So I realized I didn't have enough troops to really man every spot, so I decided to pick the 2 on the right, and then oh, a commissar hiding out here. The so the idea being is I got the anti-tank rifle here, and then the heavy infantry here. So if he just tries to shoot down this way, these guys will be able to counter with a vehicle. And also, if the terrors being fast, they'll be able to swing over and fire to counter anything here. So I was kind of leaving this one open as a bit of a bait. I didn't have the ability to man all of them effectively anyway, so I thought is, okay, well, why don't I set it up to where if he does go for that, easy grab with a transport or something, that I'm able to counter, and then hopefully at that point block up this way with the wrecks and the rubble here. Just a more further close up on the left flank. Top of 1. So yeah, he just so his stuff up to half or so comes in first wave. So yeah, he just rolls up and just starts mowing down inexperienced infantry, followed by regular infantry, which is generally how I expected it to go. That's also why I didn't man all 3, as I knew they were going to come in and just get hit. Yeah, he then proceeds to, after weakening my squad here, yeah, drop out his heavy infantry to advance on foot. So I saw this time, given how much the squad was weakened, I thought I'd take the shot and run these my tank hunter team out and pop some shots off. Yeah, of course they fail on that one, so they're kind of out in the breeze. But yeah, it's on them. Yeah, so then I move up. Now that I've seen his forces deployed, I kind of go, okay, well, here's the line. Try to fight him up on the front line here more so. So daughters move up to counter, and then brings us pretty much to the end of turn one at this point. Big point here is, so calling the artillery strike, the terrors and light infantry, or the inexperienced infantry, really didn't do much. But yeah, we call in the artillery strike here. Thought being is, I see a lot of his stuff here. It's the we do have the Russian big blast again, so I'm kind of at this point now funneling him, well, hopefully funneling him more to the right, so daughters can move up, tears can come up how they need to, and then heavy infantry, once I'm secure in that knowledge of being able to run them, kind of diagonal up to support and just hopefully box them up right up here. That brings us to 2. So yeah, the yeah, the worry factor jumps up a good bit. So the first spin comes up and thankfully misses. You see the artillery markers moved. So yeah, I rolled the 3, I think it was, and it bounced over here. But spin, yeah, it's price for failure. So daughters had 2 Panzerfaust, so they fire them off, pop that, and then the rest of the squad's fired into the, just pretty much smokes the heavy infantry there. He returns, he returns the favor, proceeds to just march the heavy infantry up and just clear off my regular squad. So it was good that I brought the daughters up. Commissar, he couldn't help. I mean, not when everybody just killed to a man. So tank hunters did their job, well, ish. So yeah, they so I looked at, oh yeah, it's like they come with it's empty transport. They come with grenades. So I thought, okay, why not? So they charge in there. One guy gets mowed down in the process, but they stick around and we end up popping. We didn't blow it up, but it was the empty transport, so we ended up popping it. And then with things starting to get locked down here, he does decide to mobilize on his right, my left. And then, yeah, so here's kind of a board state of everything here. Yeah, inexperienced squad just keeps taking fire. And then they up close shot of a bad place to be. Yeah, Sarge from the inexperienced squad with the commissar kindly reminding him which way he needs to go. So yeah, with the new threat moving this way, I decide to counter instead of swinging them to the right, since that seems to be fairly locked in. I swing these guys to the left on the objective, hold them down, and just kind of again pin them out here. Yeah, maybe I should have waited a little bit longer in the tears, because spin comes in, cooks these ladies off here, puts 4 pins. Thankfully, we stick around. Yeah, then reinforcements arrive again. So yeah, another squad. He pulls them up, pops out the flamethrower, another flamethrower, cooks them off. Yeah, so finally the daughters can handle a good bit, but not double hits with flamethrowers. And then the regular infantry squad pops out. Saw earlier, Commissar moved on to the objective, bravely holding it to the last. Yeah, and given given the recent turn of events, so yeah, I start to move the heavy infantry out of their fortified position, because I know at this point if he's able to, it looks like he's going to blow through these objectives. I need to get up here, and if I want to have any chance of winning, limit him just to these, because the rear objectives are the more expensive ones, victory point wise. So if I move up, and at least hold him here, or at least hold this one and keep him, allow him to have these 2, it'll be a good win for me. Brings us to turn 3. So yeah, yeah, things get interesting. So artillery strike goes off, and it hits everybody. Um, Man, just pins and death and everything are stacking up everywhere. Um, yeah, as you can see, yeah, the before and after. So I ended up direct hitting my own terrors and my anti-tank guy. So yeah, that didn't work out. My next plan was to have him, let's say, dart up and take this out, or one of these. Either way, a direct heavy howitzer hit made sure he didn't have to worry about that. Good news is, even with the blowing up all my own stuff, there's enough pins stacked on, yeah, that it's really going to jam him up. So the unfortunately the spin was able to overcome, um, and then advances to fire. Thankfully, obviously, Terra's being fireproof, he has to use the anti-tank cannon on him and misses. So yeah, the given the recent spat of units being cooked off, or the heavy amount of flamethrowers, so yeah, I take the calculated risk, saying, he's got the mobility to come and get me, so I might as well do what I can to move up, engage him out here, and hopefully again just delay as much as I can. Uh, his stuff just blowing right past me, um, and hopefully I'm able to put some pins on it with some like my anti-tank rifle and stuff that I can at least pin it down to where if he does move up into fire at him, I won't. It won't just be the standard, 3-4 up to hit. Yeah, and then the my fortified bastion just laying down fire. This is something I was waging, not just kind of debating on from the start on if it was worth having, this many points or assets tied up in one objective. They are the expensive objective. The good news is, being one of the assets, this was a fortified building, so they really didn't take any shots all game, just because it made them, I think, +1 defense. So all the veterans are on 6s to wound, and you're in hard cover, so nobody, he rightfully didn't even really bother shooting at him that much. The My own little flamethrower decides to sneak up. Hopefully, the heavy infantry and the other stuff will be the drawing the main attention and let him come up and do his work. Yeah, so these guys come out. Obviously, he hit the dirt. Commissar, I mean, they keep hitting him, but you know, he's sticking around, so he's doing his job. Um, Brings us to 4. So yeah, they're calm before the storm, kind of a bored state. At this point, you're seeing, yeah, the Terrors have 8 pins on them. They're not having a good time. But again, everything else, it's just a lot of pins on his side, so it's getting down to the nitty gritty. So yeah, I'm able to move these guys up. So they're popping. So I get early pull, fire. Don't kill his spin, but I do hit and put some pins on it. Um, yeah, and then yeah. So the next is so he moved up his rifle team, and flamethrower team comes up to cook them off. So yeah, just kind of burned through that one pretty quick. But yeah, so move them up, fire into spin. Regular infantry moves up, counters, tries to fire into them. Really doesn't do much. Yeah, flamethrower. Yeah, cooks them off. And, it's nice to return the favor from time to time. And the brave commissars finally, through massed assault rifle, is finally gunned down. Yeah, Terrors keep it on, so they keep getting hit. Um, Not getting the kill, but now we're up to 9 pins, and yeah, we're not having a good time. Heavy infantry's taking fire now. He's realized this is his greatest threat, because realistically, once he clears these guys out, he has a fairly good chance of, hopping stuff back in his remaining transports and just driving down and capturing that bottom left objective. Plus, he can just walk onto these with his remaining forces. To that note, so they, his plan was just kind of rally these guys, bring them up. So that note, he's needs to start clearing out a path for him. So vehicle moves up, get out of the cover, so they don't get cover. Moves up, tries to fire onto them. Brings us to 5. So yeah, so they were fired on. Clears them out. These guys took some more shots, but this is the start of So yeah, he finishes them, and yeah. So you see, even with the 4 pins, I was looking at it going, I don't, you know, it's not like I'm going to shoot and be able to finish that. So realistically, I was debating on, these. I was pretty sure I couldn't, obviously I couldn't make it around the terrain with the distance they have. So take a look at it and I go, all right, let me just charge them into here. So they pass, thankfully, and yeah, I'm able to bring these guys in here, and they pop. We're able to pop him, and then consolidate victory, move on to the objective. So I'm able to, in addition to taking out a threat, I'm able to at least contest this. So doubly good news for me. Sergeant charges in. This is just me getting greedy. Hindsight, I should have just kept him back here and fired, but I just I saw the SMG and just went assault crazy. Yeah, and paid for it. So it's yeah, they end up taking him out. So yeah, with that cleared, so heavy infantry is able just to mosey on up. But at this point, we ended up calling it because my next couple shots, we're looking at this. The spin was pinned out, but I had my whole fire base that I just turned onto these guys, and yeah, so turn 6, they weren't able to move, they weren't able to do anything. They were just so many pins and everything. We just, it wasn't picture worthy. So that brings us to the end of the game. So it was a Soviet win. Three controlled objectives. So there was two my home base objectives and 1 forward objective to the German 2. He was able to move the flamethrower team onto the last guy onto the other objective, so he was able to capture that. So he did get 2 objectives. There was 5. I did kill 5 units, most of them vehicles, and he killed a lot of my stuff. So he killed 7. So yeah, so he did a good job in there because he killed 7, good units generally. These weren't like just they weren't all inexperienced squads or something. So yeah, he did good there. One thing, we were looking at the mission. It was a good mission. I think anybody playing this one needs to take a look at make sure to take a look at the mission and realize what they're supposed to do. This mission does allow outflanking, and then also the campaign rules allow for sewer deployment, which basically just pop up. Now it's very risky, but yeah, we were looking at it at the end and kind of saying, hey, he needs to, that needs to be taken into consideration. Conflict 47, you can also have units with flight or something. So the factor, you really need to factor in how hard it is to get those 2 backline objectives. But overall, it was a good game just in and of itself. We will be going through. We're gonna, I mentioned this was a campaign game, so we're gonna take a look, take a look at the campaign, do everything, gather up our thoughts, and there will be a campaign recap video later. But right now, for as far as this particular mission, it was a good time. A lot of a lot of dead on all sides. So so the Soviets are able to snatch a win on this last one, which is going out on a bang, but I don't know if it was enough to offset the earlier whoopings. Anyway, thanks for watching.